Good morning, my friends. So how is everybody doing on this well, what is it? Well, it's not December yet. Is it November 30th? Christmas is almost here. And I'm happy I got my hat on. I've had my hat on all month to kind of celebrate, to make this one a good one. It is your attitude, everything else. It's how you look at things, how you do things. And you got to work at it. And I'll talk about that in a minute, what I'm doing to work at mine. So, guys, I am so glad you're here watching the VOD, checking things out, everybody tuning in. It's going to be a little while before everybody else gets here. So, I'm going to talk a little shop, my shop that I know is as far as my little brain goes, expertise now. It's definitely not cooking. I'm still learning how to do that. My kid sister, my mom, books, the internet, YouTube, everybody's teaching me how to cook these days, and I'm very grateful for it. But what I'm talking about is what I've had to do is carry my own cross for the last 17, 18 years in my mental health journey. Now, everybody knows I'm working my way up to writing a book. I'm taking more time off. I'm getting my stuff together. I'm getting my medications together. It is a journey onto that. We're going to talk about that this morning. And basically, from there, I have, upon need, lowered my anti anxiety or my anxiety medication and my antidepressant, my PTSD medication that helped me tremendously get back on my feet. Now it's causing me to have fluctuating blood pressure. We think, the doctors and I, it was kind of my theory. And so if it doesn't go right, it's definitely my fault. If it goes right, it's the doctors. He's the one that looked over it. So we're going to give them credit for it. But on the 22nd, what is that, 8 days ago or something like that, I started going from 20 milligrams of Lexapro or Escoplam down to 10, and it was a big drastic change. I have felt body aches, my guts hurt, I've had flu-like symptoms, I've been dizzy, I've been lightheaded, I've been confused, I've been a little grumpy here and there. I think I just self-reflecting. I've been a little bit grumpy, a little bit. I've been insomnia like 10 times worse than what it was before. So I was emailing my doctors Friday night at 1 o'clock in the morning, my medical doctor. I was getting in the portal, sending them stuff. And for the insurance and everything else changes, send my meds to the new insurance company, mail order, and all that kind of stuff because it's cheaper, saving lots of money. A lot more of my medicines covered this year than what it was last year. Everything was out of pocket last year. It really hit amongst the car and amongst everything else. The great remodel, and we're gonna ride that out this winter. And basically a lot of things going on. So I'm trying to pull back and save some money and do that kind of thing, and yet still provide better for myself. Trying to do better. So with involving that, Um, I also send my medical or my psychiatrist the stuff for my new insurance. Asked him to send all my scripts over, and I got a lot of scripts, prescriptions, to this new mail order pharmacy and everything else. And I explained to him that I wanted to go down from 10 milligrams, which is what it went down from 20 to 10. Now to get off of it completely when the time is right is what I actually said. It's your judgment call. So he's got great judgment. He's a good guy. I think I bug him too much. He says you're not bugging me. He's a really good guy. I really like this guy. Out of 17 years, I'd say he's the best one that I have had. He's not a doctor. He's got his doctorates. He's an LPN. or not an LPN, a nurse practitioner, an NP, and he's got a whole bunch of acronyms after that. And he really knows his stuff. He really cares about his patients. Me being one of the patients now for, I don't know, since before 2018, so 7, 8, 9 years. So it's been a lot of good stuff going on. So it's only been the last 3 or 4 years once I got a hold of the doctor before him, and then him, to carry things on and to make more adjustments in my meds, that I've been stabilized. And you'll hear that a lot in the mental health, being mentally stable or being stable. And I was unstable before. Basically, for I had bad doctors, and one's in prison now for horrible things, just horrible things. And he really screwed up my meds, and these doctors kind of after him, kind of just rubber stamped it until I hit the doctor that I have now, and that the doctor that was before him. Those two did a fabulous job getting me back together. And a doctor in psychology got my diagnosis right. I laid it all out for him. We talked about it for a year while he was there. Got my diagnosis all straightened out. And then, just like the doctor now, I've gone to a therapist. Everybody knows his name is Greg. And he's been a great guy. I haven't agreed with him wholeheartedly. I've been kind of snappy at him at times. But he's carried me through the last 4 or 5 years, too. And with that foundation of medical treatment, I am to where I am now. And once you start changing your medicine, this is where I was getting at, things become difficult. You can become not, you can become uh, unwell, basically unsound. You'll start have problems. They start messing with the meds. You end up in the hospital and a whole bunch of things. And got removed off Lamictal this summer. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was a mood stabilizer. I went through some side effects with that and everything else, but got off of that this last summer, all right, with everything else going on. It has been really heavy medical and materialistic. The house and the cars and all that kind of stuff. Been really busy with me, let alone streaming too. So I'm getting off this medication, like I said, on the 22nd, to round that whole thing out. For those that don't know, kind of a fast shotgun through it all, kind of hit the high and lows. We can talk about some of that if we want to. You can DM me on Discord, uh, anywhere like that, and or on Twitch, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I'm usually pretty good at getting back to things. But what one of the things is all these side effects, because I'm also been feeling the brain zaps, and then the insomnia, like I said, and the body zaps. These are like electrical static shocks throughout the nervous system as the chemistry in my brain changes, because this medication is being withdrawn from my system, and it is very difficult and dangerous time. So I've taken some more time off. I've taken my therapist's advice off, my parents, my sister, everybody, and kind of just taking a breath, taking a break. I got some more stuff coming up. I'll talk about it. But with this Lexapro or Escoplane, my PTSD medication, it's still not done with it. So I'm going to go through some more changes and stuff like that. And I may have mood changes, my anxiety is if you can't tell, I'm talking kind of fast, I'm kind of twitchy, that kind of thing. My anxiety is getting me a little bit, not near as bad as what it used to, but I'm not off the medication all the way. Before, my anxiety, my GAD, general anxiety disorder, would hit me, and my adrenaline would start pumping, and it'd fight or flight, and I would get charged up. So I'm trying to be careful of that. I've tried to learn a lot of readings and stuff like that to be more relaxed and stuff like calm during difficult situations and stressful situations. And I'm going to put all that into practice as I go through these stair steps of lowering my medication. I should say you should never, ever, ever get off or go cold turkey on psychiatric medications. You should work with your psychiatrist, your doctors, and get there a plan, an action plan on how you should proceed on getting stopped taking that medication. Just because you don't feel good one day or one week, or it's made you feel bad for a decade, which I've had meds do that, lithium for one. You should not just go cold turkey. I'm quit taking this today. You will shock the shit out of your system. You will go through all kinds of changes. Your mental, you may have mental lapses, hallucinations, delusions, psychosis. A lot of things can happen. And so that's what all my doctors are working with me. So far, I'm doing pretty good. I'm keeping them updated and working my way through this. And still got a little ways to go on this one particular medication. So as I go through that, let me know if I get snippety or angry or moody, stuff like that. That's another reason for the days off. Just kind of take a breath, take a break, get some rest, get my thoughts together, make sure I'm calm and coherent, and be professional as I can be. And this show or this channel is allowing me to do all those things because I'm focusing in on it like it was a job, like it's a presentation, and it is a presentation to the world. So you got your everybody worry about what they look like. I'm a little rough, and that kind of thing, but hardly anybody worries about their reputation, on what image they have, and what kind of are they a good person, or are they a bad person, are they a trustworthy person? Are they a loyal person? So many people, old school, how I was raised up, and I just turned 50. And thank you all for celebrating it with me. That was awesome. That was awesome. And those things were very critical when I was growing up. Now they seem to be scattered about, not so focused on, and that kind of thing. I would really like to see those things come back. Have some dignity about yourself, some respect, have loyalty with friends, be trustworthy. When you say something, you're honest, you're sincere with it, and you're honest. And those kind of things, those are the character traits human beings should have for nobility, for good things they should have. And so many people, it seemed like on Twitch and everything else, they don't care if they're a gangsta, West Side. They don't care what they got going on. They're there to make the loot, the money, and make get famous no matter what it takes. And some of those things are at their sacrifice of reputation. So I wish people would get back with that. And that's one thing that I stand upon, and I've made many mistakes, embarrassed the hell out of myself, and done some really stupid stuff. I drunk like a fish was my biggest one and got me in the most trouble. And I put it out there. I said, I don't drink no more. I stopped drinking 18, 19 years ago and that kind of thing. I stopped smoking 7 or 8 years ago. I'm really trying to get my life together. And that's also part of this where, I got to stand up in public. I got to be presentable. I got to get my cognitive functions together and get orchestrated into a thought process. And basically, what am I teaching or what am I doing today with chat? So that's the old school kind of, training classes kind of thing going on. And so that's how I that's how I look at it. What are we doing today? What's going on? What are we trying to achieve? What are the missions? You've heard me say it before, and it's kind of odd. What is the mission of the channel? Well, mental health, awareness, and education. Charities, St. Jude, Bungee Foundation. Common decency, nobility, kindness, love, compassion, empathy. Those are the mission of the channel. And those are the things that I try to do. I make mistakes, I screw up, I have some issues. And, I try to do better every day and I try to set a good example. So, with that, with me putting the big picture together now, me getting off some of these medications, it's very difficult sometimes to adhere to some of that just because the chemicals in my brain and body are going ape and they're really not jiving well together and I have some issues, so I try to get through that every day. I hold on to it now for, I don't know, for a few years after I got out of the hospital 17, 18 years ago, back in December 2008. I was still grumpy, hateful construction worker. I took that out on my parents and my siblings. My parents and my siblings whooped me into shape pretty quick and humbled me up, which is what I needed. And then the doctors humbled me up. Then the medications humbled me up. Then my condition humbled me up. Then I depressed and basically went through my whole life and read it out to therapists and everything else and went through everything in my life to sort it all out, to figure out what was going on, what went wrong, who I am, what's my condition, how early did it start? Mine started in childhood. So all those things. It is very difficult. So, um, and I went through all of it, took it, talked in group therapy, went to hospitals, was I don't know, committed to hospitals several times for weeks on end, and really went through some really hard times. Let alone I was over medicated, so I've gone through the gambit, going through some rough times on this whole mental health thing. So to bring it back around, I want to stay humble and all those things, loving and caring. Those are the rocks, the foundation, the mountain that I hold on to. And some say, well, man, this guy's saying love and all this crazy shit. Well, this guy's out of his mind. He's full of it. He's not real. Whatever you may believe. I have a heavy Christian background. My grandfather was Jewish, come from a religious family. My great grandfather. And so religion is God is fearful is how I was raised up, and doing the right thing, that pillars of trustworthiness, of loyalty, of honor, of dignity, of trust. Did I say trust? Did I say loyalty? Sincerity, empathy, character, the real essence, the molding of a character of an individual, the strength, the backbone, the honor. The Japanese people, I love the Japanese, Asian, Japanese especially, the samurais and all the honor and everything else. Not all of it is right. Not how they treated women was right, and all that. And I got that. I think there should be women samurai. I think they should be in the system. But basically from there, very, very trustworthy. If you go over there, I've read a lot of stuff. I've seen videos. They are very, very respectful group of people, and that's something we lack entirely here, and something that I tried to live since I respect and admire that through this channel and through my life. And it is very important. Very, very important. So I have my handicaps, my disability. I try to work with it, and I do my best. And that's all I can do is try to do better and better. And this channel helps me move in that direction. It's a video representation of my behavior, my attitude, my thought process. It's a blueprint to my mental state. And I can lay it out there. I can watch the videos. I download them. I got them on file, and I can say, well, there. I was very selfish, or I was very moody, or I was hateful, or I didn't understand that, or go through all these things and try to be a better human being. Not a perfectionist, but I am a bit of a perfectionist. Well, with my mental disability, it's impossible. So disabilities, I should say. So that's a little background on that. Now to add into that, you see that I got Mr. Santa Claus's belly going on here. This has been a big concern for me. I got to write a nice long letter to my sister. Some of it she didn't read, the one in Discord, and basically that I put out to my therapist or to my psychiatrist, and I read to my therapist, and I sent to my parents, and I let people know this is where it's at. And if you go back to that letter I sent to my psychiatrist in Discord, my overweight is my lithium. It changes my hormones. It affects the thyroid that regulates all the calorie burning in your body. It affects that. It creates a water weight. I am perpetually, forever and ever, a man lost in the desert, in the middle of the beating sun, forever. Just a thirst that is unquenchable. And I drink a lot of water. Not pop, which is they say could hurt you for weight and that kind of thing. I drink a lot of water. So I retain a lot of fluid retention. So those things. So lithium, I went through Mr. Pickstone. It's been 20 years. The guy's probably retired. He's a psychiatrist at OSU. He's my first psychiatrist. I was in the hospital for a week. And during that week, I was really fucked up. I was, I was, they had me on so much stuff, and I was so traumatized and everything else from what was going on that I didn't know if I was coming or going. And they kept everything they put into me was to calm me down. I was just so manic, and it was horrible. I was a vegetable. But I remember sitting with Dr. Pigstone. Now, OSU is a teaching college, so they got like 20 freaking wannabe psychiatrists standing up there in their little lab coats, all gathered around, and me sitting there talking to Mr. Pigstones with a social worker, him and his apprentice sitting up here at a table, and they're all taking notes. Mr. Klein. So with that one time, he says, got you on lithium. He said, it's going to make you gain weight. I said, I'll exercise. And I was probably said just about like that. I was mucked up. No, Mr. Klein, Eldon, you are going to gain weight. I'll eat less. I'll exercise. I was a kind of a skinny kind of guy. I had been most of my life until I started taking all these meds. He said, no, you got to listen. You are going to gain weight. I left it at that because of his tone of his voice. And by golly, Dr. Pigstone was a big man. And he was right. I gained quite a bit of weight. So, with that, there's also risperidone. It's an antipsychotic. I take 3 milligrams of it a day. Not a ton, But it's a lot of that. It's a heavy duty, heavy hitter antipsychotic medication. With that, it causes my cholesterol to be high in my system. Now they put me on a provostatin to lower the cholesterol. And before this bachelor cooking here for the holidays kicked up, where I was deep frying stuff and doing all this crazy stuff, it was in really, really, really good shape. I watched what I ate. I don't have any pop in the house. Don't have any little Debbie's, no snacks, none of that. I have to cook everything in the house except for I think I had some crackers I finished up yesterday. Um, has to be cooked, so it stops me from the nibbling and the dribbling on food and all this kind of stuff. It makes me, oh, I got to cook for a half hour to get something to eat. So I just wait until dinner time, lunchtime, whatever. So I try to do that. But the medications are really affecting it. Now, the other thing which people don't seem to be putting into it too is COPD. I smoked for more than 25 years. I vaped. Like I said, I quit smoking 7 or 8 years ago. I was vaping at the end of it. I think vaping, when it was first coming out, the machines they had and everything else got super nuclear hot. And I think that scarred some of my lungs up and stuff that they're finding now. And so if you think vaping's cool and smooth and you're not going to get in trouble, vaping really tore me up, I think, a lot. So just be wary of it. I lost 30% of my lung capacity. Now, I've always had a breathing trouble throughout, my adult life. I started smoking when I was 18. And I had asthma and stuff. I should have never been smoking, should have never. And my parents smoked when I was growing up, so I was around cigarette smoke when I was growing up. So with all that, I've lost that capacity of my lungs. I used to hike, travel, walk, do a whole bunch of stuff. It's really being overweight is one that makes it a lot harder to exercise, and huffing and puffing and not getting any air. Really, I mean, it's like you've run 5 miles and I've only gone down the block. The COPD is a big thing. I have a nebulizer that I use and stuff like that. And I do a breathing treatment once a day so I can help breathe at night when I go to bed. And the doctors try to put me on this outrageous, highly expensive medication. And I just didn't take it. It was causing a whole bunch of other problems, of a whole nother problem that I was having before. Basically, what was that called? Serotonin syndrome. I was having some of the symptoms, and this is what I told my psychiatrist and some of that stuff. And if you read the letter on Discord, serotonin syndrome, and I was spiking out on some of those body chills, couldn't keep my temperature, just a whole bunch of things, lightheadedness, dizziness. That's the story of my life, I swear. And I can't get on a ladder to save my soul anymore without getting dizzy, being afraid of falling off of it. So those are the things that are really affected my weight. So I'm going to need to exercise. It's something I got to do. I'm going to do it. But I've talked to my psychiatrist and my medical doctor, and there's a diabetes 2 obesity shot that's been real popular. You've heard it in the news. They're trying to get people to insurance companies to pay for more of it to get the weight down in the whole American population, which is pretty phenomenally high, and try to get people to lose some weight. My medical doctor says we'll keep you on it until you lose about 70 pounds, and that'll be a good start. That'll help with your COPD, it'll help with your blood pressure, it'll help you general. And my psychiatrist says it'll help with those things, help with the medicine, taking all these high levels of doses of medication because my weight's so high. More heavier you are, the more you weigh, the more medication it takes to affect you sometimes. Certain meds and certain it's all a crapshoot if you ask me. So that in mind. So that drug, there's a few different ones, and I've researched one, triacylglycine, and that stuff is straight up dangerous. It's the best one for obesity. It's the one shot they've been giving everybody, and it affects. See, what I got to worry about is it affects risperidone or it affects all these medications, and that causes me to have a whole lot of problems when I'm taking this. So I don't know how it's going to react. My medical doctor says you got to be safe. We can do it, but you got to be safe about it. And my psychiatrist says, I'm here for you. Whatever you got going on, I think it'd be good for you. You should give it a shot. So those are the things. So that's what I'm going to do after I new insurance company. I mentioned to you that another piece of the puzzle pulled around. I got to see what they pay on it, what the laws were, what the insurance companies did, and everything else with all the political mumbo jumbo that happened, and see how much it's being paid for. I got to find the right one. I got to find the right drug that's not going to react with my psychiatric medication so bad and everything else. So that's that. So I got to find out. I got to work with my doctors and get it going. I may end up missing quite a bit of time over that. My calculations, it'll be about 9 weeks of daily shots, self injection, to get that situated. About 9 weeks, about 3 months. It was like 12 weeks, and it could get very, very dangerous. So I'm only 5 minutes away from the emergency room, so I got that covered. Pardon me. I can call an ambulance. I've done it before. I can make sure I get an overnight bag and get everything out there that I need to get out there. So that's the plan. So I got to figure those things out. So with that, what I need to do here, how does this all relate to me talking to you? Well, my sister, God bless her soul, she loves me just tremendously. Her and the kids and the hubby, Mr. James being, and they worry about me. And she's always been worried. My weight has been high for decades, for this last decade and a half. And she has been worried about it. And she says, well, she wrote me this big letter. I need to finish reading it and going through it and that kind of thing. When I talked to her on the phone about it, she was worried about it. And what I can do on Bachelor Cooking Sundays is cook healthier meals. Not so much grease, not so much, the things that I think are cool and that kind of thing. Healthier meals. So I'm going to do that. My psychiatrist fortunately thinks I'm already doing that when I'm throwing it into the grease on Thanksgiving, deep frying the hell out of it, which was superb, by the way, superb. Didn't have onion powder, but it was very good. And those kind of things. So that's what we're going to start. So with that, we're going to cut back the meals. Uh, uh, from here on in, December set in January, we're going to do 2 to 3 meals a month. The price tag of food was stressing me out. The recipes that I was picking, I was being awful at it. I was picking these ones that had all these ingredients to them and everything else, and they may be a one shot ingredient. I may use it once, and it's $7 and all those kind of things. So I got this next month, I got everything for December that we need. The 14th, we're going to have an egg casserole with bacon and stuff like that, a little naughty, with some hash browns and stuff like that. We're going to also have a fruit cup, a nice little fruit cup we're going to throw together, and it's going to be like that. That's going to be on the 14th. So I'm starting that, stepping into it. Christmas, I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner. It's not going to happen. I want to have a nice, fat Christmas. I just won't cook so much of it. My portion sizes are coming down. That'll help with price and everything else. And basically, from there, it'll help with some of the weight capacity. I'm going to freeze more of it. I'm going to make smaller batches of it, what I can in the recipes, and do things like that. But on Christmas, we're going to have cream cheese, deep fried wontons. That's not good for you. It's going to be awesome. We're going to make some egg rolls. We're not going to make a million egg rolls. We're going to make 3 or 4 egg rolls. Something I can have during the meal. I can snack on maybe for dinner or something like that later on. And then we're going to make peanut butter chicken. So I can make a little batch of that. You'll see that this morning, from what I can tell, this recipe is going to scream through, and it's going to be done in no time at all. It's going to go through fast. So we're going to do that. And then New Year's, it's going to be healthy a bit. It's going to be cabbage and pork chops. All these times, though, the time in the morning to try to get my brain, my feeble little mind, to figure it out that sleeping is good and not to worry about what you got going on in the morning. Sleep, relax, is basically from there. All the shows are going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning now, starting this coming Thursday. It'll be 8 o'clock. They're all in there 8 o'clock. I just finished up Discord. Discord's a bit of a beast. It should be all set up for the alarms and all the information for be 8 o'clock. I created a presentation. My insomnia, the night I was emailing all my doctors and filling out all my forms of my insurance company. I got done with that. And when I was doing that, my brain, kind of a hypermanic kind of mentality, what I used to do is I made a video with my December schedule on it. So you want to check that out. It goes through all this again. It's about a half hour, 35 minutes. I talk about some mental health things and drive carefully with DDs, designated drivers and stuff, which is the holidays, because I love you. Back to that, I love you. And I don't want to see nothing happen to you. So be responsible. You are responsible for you. And if you do something to somebody else, you're responsible for that. Then you will have to face the consequences. So be responsible. It's not worth it. I hung out with a bunch of party animal, construction working kind of guys. And like I said in the video, I think 50% of them had DUIs. And they had got to get driven to work, or their girlfriend or their wife or whatever was driving them in different times. They all did all of a sudden, all of them, but all of them had a story through their work history where they got a DUI. So that they drive in company trucks, and the insurance goes up on that. You might not get a company truck to drive. The insurance costs more. It's all that. So remember that. So the times are going to go up to 8. Now, I remembered I talked to my sister yesterday, like I said I was going to, and it's late enough in the startup of the show, and I'll say it again later on towards the end of the show. If I remember, game night with family and friends will be tomorrow night, so I'm not getting 3 days off in a row. I'm just getting Monday morning off. Hopefully, get some sleep tonight. That's the goal. Rest, heal. And we will be doing that at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to have a video conference. My sister's working into part of it. I'll be talking to James, hanging out with the kids, and then my sister will get there. We'll talk about a little bit of it, and then we'll get into the game night with family and friends. How they're going to do dinner and all that kind of stuff, I don't think's hit them quite exactly yet, but it's going to be a fiasco. So worst come to worst, I'm gonna talk to James, or I'll talk to my sister. I'll text James. Tonight. Don't want to text him at work. He is working in the office, so I know I don't think he's supposed to get a whole lot of texts. So I'll text him and ask him for game night with family and friends on Monday night. Will you have dinner made and ready for the kids and the wife before she gets home and before game night starts? So we're not starting game night at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. Worst come to worst, I'll play. It's the night before Renegades. I'm so excited about Renegades and everything else. I am so excited. So we'll hang out for a couple hours and do our thing and that kind of thing. And then I may sneak and play a little Renegades in the meantime on my Titan or something. And turn back around from there. I will be back on at 8 o'clock Thursday morning and we will play Renegades. And I will play, I'm sure, until I get wiped out. Now, today is the first day that I'm not so lightheaded. I'm not so dizzy. I'm not having cold chills. I am having some zaps in my brain and on my arms and my back and stuff. So it's just withdrawal from the medication and chemicals in my brain. And I'm not feeling the flu or nothing. Today's the first day I feel halfway decent since last Saturday. Not this Saturday, Saturday before last. So, yeah, I'll be ready to rock and roll. So, anyway, Merry Christmas. Change is one thing you got to be used to and it is always constant. And you always need to strive to keep moving ahead. If you can get ahead of it and predict it, you'll be a millionaire. But you got to get in there and you got to play and you got to keep with the moves and then get in the grooves and get her done. So I wish you the very best. I do. Merry Christmas. I love you. I hope you get into the whole reputation thing that I talked about. I think the people here on this channel, the regulars that come through and everything else, get a very strong reputation, get a very good character. We all are flawed. We've all made mistakes. You have not been living life unless you've made mistakes. And we all have made them. And forgiving yourself is key to one. And then, having, the capacity to know that everybody isn't going to understand, and your friends are the ones that do understand. That's something I had to learn the very, very, very hard way. It's taken a lot for my little brain to figure it out. So that's that. So, what are we doing today? We're going to get a drink of water. In honor of Renegades, my Star Wars, my sister in law made for me. This thing is awesome. Get it on. It is not near as cold as what it was yesterday, guys. Yesterday was like 17 degrees. It was freezing. Today it's 40. It's much better. I did turn up the heat for the plants in the Mr. Aloe and Mr. Jade and Mrs. Ivy. They're all by the windows. My windows are not the best in the world. So what are we doing? We are doing low sugar Kung Pao chicken recipe. And it says here 4 tablespoons of coconut aminos. Might as well get those out. Coconut aminos. This is one of those, I'm only going to use it once, but I have to figure out what else I can use it for. 4 teaspoons water, garlic sauce. I'll use this. I got to figure out stuff to put that on. That's going to be good. Honey. Oh, we move this down. We got our sauce, coconut aminos. It's kind of dark over here today. We get our chili garlic sauce. We got our honey, big old thing of it. Some for my tea I'll have today. I want to have some of my tea today. Unseasoned, all right, ginger. We need our ginger. Throw it on the floor. Ginger, rice vinegar, sesame oil. That got a little cloudy. I don't know what that means. It's probably not good. Chinese five spice, also allspice. Cornstarch, avocado oil, avocado oil, expensive. We'll do the chicken in a minute. Teaspoon of salt, 2 bell peppers we got in the fridge, 4 green onions. We got dry roasted peanuts. Something good to munch on. 5 cups of hot cooked brown rice. We got a couple of these whole grain brown rice. Okay. Shut the fridge. It says here, step 1, in a jar. 4 tablespoons. 4 tablespoons of coconut aminos. Can you see that? I want it kind of down here so the phone is on a different level. Cut my fingernails. Did not help me a bit. All right. 4 tablespoons. Of course. Smells nice. I like it. One, two, three, four. Okay. Water. 4 tablespoons of water. One. Water's too fast. Two. Three. Four. I think that might have been five, but okay. Chili garlic. 3 tablespoons. Shake this up before I take the seal off of it. Okay. 3 tablespoons. One. Count them out right this time. Two. Don't get it in my eye. Honey. Sugar, honey, and ginger. 2 tablespoons. Ginger. 1 tablespoon. Don't knock over the. Ginger can be quite potent. All right. Vinegar and sesame. 2 tablespoons. 1, 2. Ha ha ha. This stuff's great. I love the stuff. Do I have enough garlic? I was eating garlic like mad there for a while. 2 tablespoons sesame seed oil. Smells like 2 teaspoons. 5 spice and cornstarch. 1/4 teaspoon. Fingers got gunk all over it, but that's all right. Pardon me. 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. All right. All right. That was taken care of. We had a crack monkey. 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. All right. 40. I had a Singapore. I played with him. I like 40. I do. I like 40. All right. Ugh, wrong one. It's the blue one. All right. Screw on lid. Shake to combine. All right. Okay, so we got to cut up the bell peppers and all that good happening stuff. I don't know if that's big enough. There's stuff all over the refrigerator handle. Organic. That's all they had. Resealable pack. Open here. And you open it there and it's not resealable. All right. So what we got here. Well, that was good. All right. Made a mess of that. So, how is everybody feeling about Renegades, huh? Out there in the winter wonderlands or across the world as the furnace kicks on. I'm excited about it. I think I've said it a dozen times. I'll keep saying it. The lightsaber is going to be awesome. I'm going to try to get all of the parts for all of it, all the catalyst. I'm going to try to. It's going to be so exciting. Everything's running all right. I'm going to sneeze. Bite down. I just washed my fingers. Pardon me. All right, let's try that again. Read the recipe. 4 green onions. I bought 4 stacks of green onions. I'll be making something. It says 4 green onions. I got 4 stacks of green onions. We'll put a little extra in. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Just greenery. Take out the mucked up ones. Okay, we'll put the rest of those back. You foolish mortal. All right. There's something I cooked the other day that had a whole bunch of those in it. I don't remember what that was. Something with eggs or something. Okay, I got plenty of onions too, and garlic. We got to cut up the chicken. Cut up the chicken. Now this chicken looks kind of rough. I bought this chicken back on 8/18. It sat in the refrigerator for 2 days, 3 days. 1 1/4 pound. Oh, you don't want to cut through that stuff. Make something with that later. Yeah. Nose is on fire today. I got my nose stuff yesterday. I went to run around everywhere yesterday. I went to CVS, went to Kroger's. I charged up my car because my battery doesn't go nowhere and it gets tired in the cold, so I have to charge it. Did all that. Did a whole bunch more paperwork in the afternoon for insurance and got my insurance cards and was happy about that. And I've been crying about they took out the wrong amount of money, about $40 lower than what the bill was for my homeowner's insurance. It's a trailer, but it's a homeowner's insurance policy. Fire, theft, and got two letters in the mail yesterday with the new policy, and it wasn't an apology letter. They didn't say we screwed up. They say we knew you got billed the wrong amount. We're gonna, and you're sure we fixed it. It's none of those. We made a mistake in error calculations or giving you a higher price than what you were actually due for insurance premium. But it came back. It came back $778 when I moved in here. Forget the 8th is my anniversary for getting the power on, and and before I moved in here, it was $1,008. And just because I'm in town around cops and firefighters, the good people they are, they did drop down 200 and say $20 or something. So I ain't got to call them tomorrow. Thank goodness. Talk to computers until I finally hit the right key to talk to somebody. I used to be on the other end of that. I used to hear about it too. So that's the good news. So I got 40 more bucks. It's 40 more bucks. My uh, medication insurance for all my medications went down from 168 to 23, and it covers majority of them. So I did not go with the right policy before. We'll have to see. We'll have to see once the bills start coming in. I just got a whole bunch of meds in the mail. I got my lithium yesterday. I got my bromide for my nose. I got my risperidone. I got my 10 milligram escoplamin at the same time. I got my provostatin. Life by chemistry. Life by chemistry. I smell natural gas. Must be that med. I'm hallucinating smells. And I made a mess with that pepper. Avocado oil, if I remember reading the label has 500-degree uh, smoke point. There we go. Dead chicken. All right. So we're going to cook up the rice when it's ready. It'll be ready in 90 seconds. Uncle Ben's rice, the best rice ever sometimes. I'm only going to cook one of these right now. I'll save the other one for later. All right. What am I missing? Oh, half a cup. I want that to start cooking. So cook in the jar. So I did a ton of running around yesterday. I was wiped out. I was feeling rough. Sorry for only streaming for a couple hours here lately, guys. It's between personal life and everything else I got going on. I got to split up my energy. It is dark out today. I tried to take a nap the other day during the day, climbed into bed, put my CPAP machine on, figured I'll give me a couple hours snooze. My anxiety got me up out of bed. About a half hour later, freaking brain cells were tickling. I was so wound up. So that didn't work for me. I don't know what it was. They want you to be able to get into that thing. I still say pink. I don't care if they say only cook it for so long and then in the finished cooking, I'd rather have it a little overcooked than pink. Pink. Pink is not good. I like pink beef. Ribeyes and New York strip steaks and T-bones and All right. Dead chicken. What else did I do? I went through the insurance, all my insurance. I got a bunch of insurance stuff yesterday, a bunch of med stuff. So I got that done. Made a bunch of phone calls. Talked to my sister. My sister emailed me big emails. Thank goodness for my sister. Tell me to come to some good decisions. That smells really good. Nice colors. I like the colors. And for those that were not here at my 45-minute get you up to date presentation this morning, game night will be. I don't know if Dean's here. I gotta probably direct message him. Discord or game night with family and friends for the month of December. After December, it looks like he's going to go to a new shift. That is James, my co-host of Game Night with Family and Friends. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday night, tomorrow night. So I'm only really getting one show off extra week. So I'm still putting in the time. We'll see how it does though. This is this stuff right here. Oh, I want that open. That smelled so good. So game night is tomorrow. There's no show in the morning. Then we're going to 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. Wednesday or Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Everything is moving up to 8 a.m. And game night for the month of December is going to be at 8 p.m. Then I did a 35-minute video of my new schedules and explained thing, and I also explained my medical condition, the reason behind some of it, and stuff like that. So, no, we're sticking to the bottom, you beast. I bet this is going to taste spectacular or awful. It's going to be really, really, really good. Thickening up. It smells awesome, guys. It is. I smell the garlic and the onions and the bell peppers and the chicken. Hey, we're not too big of a mess today. That's pretty good. I did mention I am feeling better. I haven't drank enough water though. Look at that. Looks really, really good. Now, back 15, 16 years ago, 13 years ago, maybe a decade, all through that time, I numerous times got me some Uncle Ben's ready rice. I said, "Oh, this is great. It's 90 seconds in the microwave. This is fabulous." I said, "Let me put this in the microwave." I put it in the microwave, and about 45 seconds later, kaboom! Why did it do that? I was pretty medicated. That's how medicated I was. I did that a couple times. I was like, "Oh, I read the instructions. I gotta tear off the top of it before I stick it in the microwave." That's how medicated the doctors had me. I was pretty rough shape. All right. Ooh, 90 seconds. I find that that's actually really, really hot. Oh, plating. Eldo, wake up. I've only been up since midnight, 11 o'clock. I've been up since early. All right. 18 more seconds. What in the world is going on? Bing. All right. It is so hot. All right. Get my water to freshen it up a little bit. All right, guys. That looks like a good dish. Let me take a picture of that. I've been sending it over to my mom. She can't eat a lot of this stuff. We used to go to the Chinese restaurant all the time, once a month. I'd buy for her because she was my mom when I lived down here, and or when I lived next door to her, and we'd have a grand old time. We'd eat like kings. We both had a good time. Oh, that's a good view. I can also put it on Discord. I didn't last time. I'm gonna start taking pictures. That'll be fun. What am I doing? That looks good. All right. Say prayers. They've been a little lengthy, more lengthy here lately, guys. So I hope you understand. All right. Let's get serious. Game face. Dear Lord, thank you for this food, a warm place to stay, places to get help mentally and physically, family and friends. Please let everybody have well connections with their families these holidays. It's been tough for a lot of people. And let them be at peace and let their travels be safe and make it, let everybody come home safe, Lord. Amen. Amen. All right. That is a proper Asian recipe. You taste the spices, pretty strong, really good. Mixes well with the chicken and the bell pepper and the onions. That garlic sauce, chili garlic sauce, that is spicy. That is spicy. Real strong garlic. It's really good. Taste a little bit of the peppers. Chicken's really good. When I want an Asian tasting recipe, this is the recipe I want. It is very good. I'm gonna stop there because I want to eat it all, but my nose is gonna get lit up. It's gonna run like a little fire truck. We can't have that on the show. But it is very good. And like I said, I hope everybody's safe in their travels. It's still the weekend, the holiday. People are still getting back and forth to wherever they're going and that kind of thing. Please leave in enough time so you're not in a rush. There's people out there that don't know what they're doing when they're driving. Don't be one of them, and don't get caught by one of them. Is it in an accident or something? Be safe, think ahead, that kind of thing. And it's Sunday chores. Got to get home and do the Sunday chores to get ready for the week. The preamble for all the lunches and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you've had a beautiful holiday, a beautiful time off and weekend. God bless you. And I hope you have a good week ahead. I will be here tomorrow night and every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for game night with family and friends with my co host James and little Madeline and Lily and my sister Liza hooping and a holler in the background. It'd be wonderful. Family. That's the family part. And James loves it. He is a well loved man in his house. Very loving house. Very good house. So wish everybody safety over there and secure. And hope everybody's gonna do all right for the Christmas season. Remember, it's not so much about the gifts as you get older; it's your time. So a great present would be to pack a lunch, go over to Grandma and Grandpa's or Grandma's house or Grandpa's house, and cook them up a little food, cans or whatever you got, a little something something. This wasn't too expensive, about 25 bucks or so, depending on what they want. A little spicy for older people, but you have to work with that and see what they can eat. And maybe a little lasagna, a little something. Let the fresh, the warm of cooking and fill their house. You may have to clean the stove a little bit, clean the refrigerator a little bit. I have done that for my grandpa and my aunt and uncle. So do what you can. Spend time with them. Get some tea, some hot tea. A box of it nowadays like 10 bucks. You can get half a box or something. Get the kind that grandma likes, the vanilla or the sleepy time tea. Where's mine at? I got all my tea. I moved it over here. I love my sleepy time tea. I got two more of these in here, so I love them. I got some wild berry, zinger, good stuff. Celestial is a good one. Twinings is awesome. I got a couple of these in here. The Irish breakfast really put a hammer on you. It's really good. This sleepy time tea, I love this stuff. This reminds me of my childhood. Mom making tea for me when I was not feeling good. and it's just warm. It's a very warm and soothing kind of thing. Very, very herbal, and I like it tremendously. So cheap, these were like $10 because you get a half a pack for like 6, $7. And you get something, make some hot water, a little bit of sugar or honey. I love honey. That's why I got that big $15 thing of honey. Put a little honey in with it. Oh, tasty. I like a lot of honey. Tasty, tasty. So, guys, think about it. Time is your most precious commodity in life. You will not have any more of it. You don't know how much you have of it. You don't know how much anybody has of it. So use it wisely. Spend it on the people that you care about that are important to your life. Don't buzz through life like I did. Corporate job, high stress jobs, big money, and they wanted to work every single freaking penny out of me. They wanted to grind me down. And I lost a lot because of that. So take my word of advice. You got to make money. Good money is great money, but make time for the family because in the end, they're the ones going to be there for you if you're there for them. But you got to be there for them. So that's the key. So I love you guys. It was a quick lunch like I thought it was. I got dinner. It's going to be dinner. It's going to be great, nice, spicy, very Asian. It's not one of those, peel out of the package at the Kroger's or the Walmart store and throw in the microwave or whatever. It had a real good, all those fancy ingredients came up to a good dish, but it costs a little price. So, you get yeah, the reason why it costs $25 is because I had a lot of the stuff from other recipes here already. So if you ain't got all the little single ingredients and everything else, it's going to get pricey. So I was wrong about that. I apologize. So I love you. Be safe out there. Hug that loved one. Hug him for no reason, out of the blue. Monster hug. And that's your hug for today, too. I love you. See you guys.